Log number 1. Call to adventure. There is a moment when you are walking in your daily life. Life moves as usual, and without expecting or thinking about it, a sudden happens. A call to adventure begins to burn strongly in your heart, and it's an amazing feeling. I still remember that call in which my life changed forever. I was a simple young man used to being underestimated, used to having nowhere to go, to wondering if I was good for anything and if I would ever do something in this world. The thing is, I was sitting in a workshop on a kind of course that I had decided to go to see if I could fight my depression. And I sat there waiting for nothing, deep in my own thoughts as usual. We arrived at a break, a small break, and many got up to go for a coffee. I just sat there in my chair. I was feeling especially uncomfortable because the speaker, the person in front, kept staring at me insistently. I looked back at him, and with a warm smile, he beckoned me to come closer. I approached with distrust. I remember that at that time I did not look people in the eye, perhaps because of my low self-esteem. So I greeted him without looking at him and noticed that he kept staring at me. I felt uncomfortable but subjugated in some way. He looked at me and said, "You remind me a lot. I once had the same look as you." "And what is my view?" I asked. The look of someone who doesn't know where he's going and is terrified by it. And for the first time I felt that someone was really looking at me. His gaze penetrated my heart and broke down my defenses. And for the rest of the talk he took the trouble to convince me of how amazing life could be if he believed in me and decided to follow my dreams. Just like mine, there are many callings in this world. Some are given to transfer traumatic experiences. Others are awakened by seeing the injustice of the world, to feel the pain of others as their own. Somehow an extreme empathy ignites in their being and encourages them to make big changes in the world. Others are passionate about an idea or a discovery for the whole trip. The fact is that no matter how, calls are not in short supply in this world. In one way or another, life whispers to humans the call to fulfill their purpose for which they are on this earth. But if we all have a calling, then what's the problem? The problem is really simple. It is that from the call to set sail for adventure, there is a station in between. The season of fear. From the cliff to flying, there is only one jump. Just a leap into the void, obviously. It is at this intermediate point that 99.9% of the world's people are created. The future is not available to those who do not want to make the leap into uncertainty. For a moment, let's go to a cemetery and look at the landscape. In each of these tombs lie buried the greatest books that were never written, the films that were never made, the projects that never came to fruition, hundreds of dreams, talents, and gifts buried here underground. I don't know who is on the other side listening to this, but if with this message you manage to make your dream not end here, but on the contrary become a legacy that lasts even after your death, then it will all have been worth it. The call to adventure can become a happy or tragic memory, depending on the decision you make. Look back and see that you didn't set sail for fear of leaving the beach, for fear of losing what you already knew, to see that the years followed one after the other, and that today, the words that would have passed torment your soul is a much more expensive price to pay than to have sailed with uncertainty. But I want to encourage you because it's never too late. From my point of view, as long as there is life, it is never too late. As long as there is breath, a new story can always be written. Hop on the first boat and set sail for the sea despite the uncertainty. Have faith and look forward. Stay the course, and I assure you that you will reach the destination. It will be a long road, and it will not be easy. There will surely be storms there, but it will be worth it, my captain. Look straight ahead and smile even if you're terrified, because today your adventure begins. Today you begin to write your story, and I admire you for that. From here, from my barge in the middle of the sea, I tell you, don't be afraid of a storm if it teaches you to be a better captain. Until next time.